It's funny when I think back on just how much money I lost in my first few years trying to understand the whole clothing brand game, trying to understand how all of this works. I lost tens of thousands of dollars trying to learn the whole process here, trying to work through it, and just gaining all of the lessons that I share with you. But the very ironic and paradoxical thing about all of this is that I wouldn't be remotely close to where I'm at today in business if I hadn't gone through those failures. And in this video here, I want to talk to you about why it's totally okay for you to fail multiple times in your business, catastrophically, just completely reach a point in your company where you don't know what the hell you're doing, you've lost a lot of money, things aren't going very well for you. I want to explain to you how that's a part of the process. I believe that we've been deeply conditioned by the education system to view failure as a bad thing. When you get a bad grade on a test, oh my God, we need to tell your parents and you're gonna fail, you're never gonna be able to contribute to society. Whereas nobody took that kid who failed in the test and said, this is good that you didn't do well on this test because here's where you can do differently next time and here's where you can learn. Or maybe you're just studying the wrong thing altogether and it's something that you're not interested in, something that you just shouldn't waste your time on and you should focus on this other stuff instead. This video here is going to completely reset your brain to view failure in the right way. It's going to relax you, take away a lot of the anxiety and a lot of the stress that you feel as an entrepreneur who's constantly trying to avoid failures at every single turn. So I really hope that you enjoy. Here it is. Apparel Success is sponsored by my buds over at Design Crowd. If you struggle with designs, I really recommend that you try them out. You post a project on Design Crowd, sick designers from all over the world are going to compete for your project. You just choose the winner, then you get that design plus revisions. I have literally sold thousands of these designs on my website and I got them all made through Design Crowd. If you're interested, head over to designcrowd.com/apparel to learn about the special offer that I have for you, or just use the discount code apparel when you post a project on Design Crowd. All right, so the reason for this video here is that inside of the Apparel Success Mastermind, there are a lot of clothing brand owners I've noticed that get really down on themselves when they're not getting the results that they want, when they feel like they've done something wrong with their brand, like they released a product and it didn't get any sales, and their whole mindset crashes. Oh, I must be a bad entrepreneur. This is never gonna work for me. I'm never gonna be able to do this. Well, imagine you're trying to learn like a new sport. Like you're learning how to play basketball and you miss one of the shots, it doesn't go in. Does that mean that you're never going to be able to learn basketball and get good at basketball? No, it means that you just literally missed that one shot. You keep practicing at it and you're going to get better and better at it. And that's how this whole thing works. It's a very rare, powerful mentality to have when you start to view all of the failures that you're going through with your clothing brand. You released a product that didn't go well. You posted on social media, it didn't get very many views and you were trying for 20 days and oh no, my brand must not be very good. When you start to view all of these as opportunities to make changes, to learn and to grow from it, rather than viewing it as the end all be all in this sort of fixed mindset. There's a great story of an entrepreneur who is pitching his business idea to an investor. And within his business pitch, he mentions that in a previous business, he lost $200,000. And you'd think that most people wouldn't want to invest in somebody who's lost $200,000 before. And instead, this investor said, no, let's do it. I'm down. Let's do this new business idea. Let's go for it. And the entrepreneur that pitched the business asked the investor, why did you end up investing in my business? I just admitted that in my last venture, I lost $200,000. And the investor said, you have a rare $200,000 lesson that very few people have. And that is a super valuable thing to have. It's not a bad thing to have gone through experiences like that. You learn a crazy amount from it. I'll tell you straight up that before I started up my clothing brand and before I started this YouTube channel, I failed in several different businesses. Catastrophically. Like I spent a full summer working in waste management, saving up about $10,000, $12,000. I put it all into this one business and it completely failed. And there were little things that I learned along that journey that have been absolutely massive in building me up to where I'm at today. I also had several different YouTube channels that I tried to make work that all failed. I've made literally hundreds of posts, even on this YouTube channel, of videos that just don't really get that many views compared to other videos. And same goes with the TikTok account. Same goes with everything that you're working on, is that not everything is going to have that like 100% success rate. And I think that that's what most entrepreneurs are expecting, is that everything that they do needs to turn to gold. And it's much more like the opposite. A very small percentage of everything that you're working on will actually be going right for you most of the time. Most of the time, your experience as an entrepreneur is going to be failure after failure, learning from it, iterating on it, improving it, and then failing again, and then learning how to work your way around it. And just coming to terms with this and accepting that it doesn't say anything about you as an entrepreneur, that this is a part of the process that every single entrepreneur goes through, can hopefully allow you to just chill out and enjoy the whole process of learning a new skill and learning a new task and getting better at it. Because that's the whole fun of picking up a new sport, is that you learn and you fail and you learn from it, and then you get better and you get better, and it's sort of this challenge to get better and better and better at whatever it is that you're trying to master. An amazing way to simplify this mentality and make it really simple so that you can remember it moving forward is that everything is a blessing in disguise. A lot of the suffering that you're going through as an entrepreneur, a lot of the pain that you're receiving right now, not getting the results that you want, not being able to get as many sales as you want, struggling on social media, it's all a blessing in disguise. This is all an opportunity for you to learn, and it's teaching you something. There's a lesson in there for you to pull out and adapt in order for you to get to the next level. And most people don't see it that way. And so they stay in the same place. They end up wallowing on it. They get really kind of down on themselves rather than looking at it as an opportunity. I believe that aside from the education system really conditioning us to fear failure and hate failure, another big reason for this is something known as loss aversion bias. If you look through a lot of behavioral economics glossaries, you'll come across this term known as loss aversion bias. And what loss aversion bias is that we tend to fear losing things way more than we enjoy gaining things. So losing $5 hurts way more than us gaining $5. And the reason for this is because the closer that you get to zero, the closer you get to life and death scenarios, and you could potentially die. Like if you have zero water, you will die. If you have an abundance of water, there's only so much that you need before it just spills over and you just don't need the rest of it. And so we tend to have this fear of getting to rock bottom, and that's kind of what failures are hitting at in terms of like the emotions that we're feeling, is that we feel like when we're failing that we're gonna end up going back down to rock bottom. But most of the time, a lot of these failures are completely manageable. We know we'll be able to figure it out. We know we'll be able to get there. So right now, to put this into practical terms, if you have a logo for your brand that you don't like, if you've come out with some designs that you don't like for your brand, it doesn't mean that you're done. You're done when you say you're done. It's like that scene in Breaking Bad where Walter White's like, it's done when I say it's done. Basically, you decide when this journey ends for you. You don't have to quit ever if you don't want to. And as long as you're never going to quit, then the journey is just this constant process of failures, learning from them, succeeding, working with what's succeeding, then failing again and learning from it. This is never going to end. Something that's going to always be inside of your entrepreneurial experience is that there's constant pain, constant work, and constant uncertainty. You can't get away from those things. And so if you view all of those things in a positive light, then it's going to serve you so much better. So I may butcher this, but I hope you get the point. There was this study where they put rats up against voluntary stress stimulus and involuntary stress stimulus. And the rats that were going up against the involuntary stressors had a drop in their dopamine or their serotonin, and the rats that were voluntarily facing the stressor head on actually had an increase in it. And you can feel this yourself. Like if you go through an involuntary physical stress, it's likely gonna kind of suck. But then at the same time, there are people who go to the gym and are obsessed with going to the gym, putting themselves through pain, and they get this massive dopamine rush and they love it and enjoy every second of it. And it's because they're voluntarily doing it. This mindset tweak of reframing failure so that failure is actually a good thing. It's something to look forward to because you're going to be able to learn from it, and it's going to build character. It's going to build your emotional resilience. It's going to build all these different aspects of yourself. And at the same time, it's giving you an opportunity to change, an opportunity to grow and to get to the next level will completely transform how you view your business and how you view this whole entrepreneurial journey. If you're thinking about starting up a brand or you're already running one, you've got to check out the Apparel Success Mastermind. There's exclusive monthly live streams. It's a community of clothing brand owners all in there supporting each other and helping each other, and you get access to all my courses. You can learn more at apparelsuccessmastermind.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.